Okay, so warrior one, hands in the prayer position over your head, look to the right, foot out, right leg strengthening, left leg stretching, and we're going to take 2 breaths in, starting now. Okay, come on down. We're going to switch sides. So we're now going to go to the left side. We're going to bend the left knee, keep it out there above, opening up the toe. And I'm going to stretch my legs wide enough so that I get a really good stretch of my right inner thigh. Hands straight above your head, look to the left, and we're going to start with the 2 breaths. Ready? Go. Okay. In between the warrior 1, 2, and 3, we'll come down to a wide-legged forward fold. So basically, spread your legs wide, feet going absolutely forward, and then just come on over and stretch yourself to the mat with your hands on the mat, just to get a break in between. Next, we're going to go into warrior 2. So come on back up. Similar to warrior 1, so we're going to put our foot to the right. The foot placement is different. This foot is faced to the right. This back heel is not at a 45-degree angle, but at a 90-degree angle. So you're perpendicular to the right foot. Put your hands in the T position, like this. Again, you're getting a really good stretch, but you're going to feel a different stretch here. So the right leg will be bent as warrior 1. The left leg, you'll feel a different stretch in the more towards the front of your thigh. So let's do that one. Let's go into the T position, and I want you to face to the right. And then we're going to take 2 breaths in, starting now. So 2 sniffs in. Okay, come on up. We're going to switch to the other side. So keep the legs wide. The left knee is bent. The right knee is at a perpendicular to the heel of the left foot. Getting a stretch in the inner thigh. Different stretch from warrior 1. We're also bringing our hands to the T position, so you're getting a stretch. I want you to feel like your hands are being pulled on either side, so you're getting a stretch through your whole chest, out through your fingertips. And look to the left, and then we'll start the breath. Ready? Go. Okay, come on down, wide-legged, forward fold. Okay, warrior 3, it's a little bit more of a balancing pose. So you're going to bring your legs in a little bit. You're going to put your right leg to the right, okay? But I want you to feel firm in it. Don't stretch it out so far. Your right leg should be a little bit closer to your body than it was before, not out so far. because we're basically going to balance on the right leg. We're going to come forward like this, and then both hands will be up and the leg will be up. So you can see that your leg needs to be in further for balance. So point your right foot towards the right wall. Put your hands out in front and then raise your left leg. Okay, that's definitely more of a balancing pose. So if you fall out of it, it's no big deal. You just fall out and go back in. And then I'm going to turn now to the left side. And we're going to just get your foot kind of planted on the mat where, like if you were to lean forward like this, you could balance. So you bring your hands out first over your bent knee so that you get started balancing, and then you raise your right leg. And that's warrior three. Let's come down to a wide-legged forward fold. We're going to come into side angle next. Okay. Side angle, if you can remember, it's just you're creating one angle for one whole side. So you're basically, let's turn to the right, put your right knee out here bent, okay? Now your left leg will be perpendicular to your right leg, straight out. You're going to get a stretch in your inner thigh. And now you're going to take, so your left leg is straight. You're going to bring your left arm up straight. You can spread your legs a little further and then just come over on your elbow. And you see you're creating one long side angle, and you should feel a really good stretch here in your core. It should feel really, really good. And then take a deep breath in here. Take two. Okay, come on up. We're going to switch sides. So you're going to point your toes towards the left wall. Your legs are quite spread out here. Your right leg is, your foot is perpendicular to your heel. Your right arm is going to be straight out like the right leg. I'm going to rest on my elbow and create one long side angle, feeling a really good stretch on my right side. Okay, circle around, come into a wide-angled forward fold. It should feel really good. Next, we're going to come into the pyramid pose, and then the chair pose. And then rotated chair. So pyramid pose, then chair, then rotated chair. So chair pose is just put your Plant your feet hip distance apart, firmly on your mat, and then I want you to sit back like you're going to sit in a chair. You don't have to come down really deep. It's actually, this is a really good thigh workout, which is essential for all things that we need to do. Obviously, getting up and down into a chair, and for almost all sports, keeping these thighs really strong. So you want to come back. So you want to come back as far as you can, looking like you're sitting in a chair, and bring your arms up for balance. And hold that pose. And then come on up. We'll come down into that 3 times, okay? Actually, I'm going to do it 5 times because it's kind of like doing squats. So that's 1. We'll come down to 2. Come on back up. 3. Come on back up, and if you want to come up to your toes, kind of stretches out your toes a little. Feels really good. And then 4. And then 5. And then come on up, and then we're going to go into 1 twisted chair pose. So come on down and then twist. Put your right elbow on your left knee. Pretty simple. And then twist to the other side. And since we're doing these poses, I want to come down to all 4s. And I want you to tuck your toes under. And sit back if you can on your heels to stretch out our toes. I think I've been neglecting to do this. I usually do this every day, but I've been neglecting to do it, and already it's tighter to come down. This is, they call it screaming tiger toes, but it's really good for you, for your feet. Helps out the plantar fascia, stretches it out. From here, I want to go into cat-cow. We're going to stretch back one more time on our feet, and then we're going to go into cat-cow. So once I come down, and now we're down into the medium position. We're not down, we're not lying down yet. I like to stay down. Okay, so next come forward into tabletop, and we're going to do cat-cow. So I think a lot of you know how to do this. You arch your back, tuck your head in between your hands for the cat position. And I want to go in and out of this several times. Helps to give flexion into the spine. Loosens you up. Feel free to move around in this position a little bit. None of these positions are completely static. Okay, come on up. Okay, and then we're going to go right into Sunbird. I want you to take your left leg up, your right arm up, so that you're stretching out your right arm all the way through your left toes. And I want you to really try and stretch it here. And then I want you to come in with your elbow and touch your knee. And then back out. We're going to do this 4 times. 2, 3, 4. Now we're going to go to the other opposite side. So take your right leg out and your left arm straight out. Hold that there. Feel like the pull between your whole body from your tips of your toes through the tips of your fingers, and then touch your knee. 1, 2, 3, 4. Next, we're going to go right into down dog. Raise your hips in the air. Pedal your feet a bit, or just let your feet sit into a stretch. Your hips are in the air. Your hands are firmly planted with your fingers spread. And here, we're going to go into pigeon. So I want you to take your right knee to your right wrist. Bring your foot in at an angle. Raise your torso, raise your head, look straight ahead. Don't look to the left or the right. I want you to look straight ahead. And you should feel a really good stretch in your right hip. I can really feel a stretch in my right hip. So I want to have you sit here with me on this one until your hip kind of releases and lets go of the tension. Just be patient with this one. Really good for your hips to stretch them out. So your left foot is all the way straight back, your left leg, and then your right leg is bent, and your foot is coming in at a 45-degree angle, so you get a good stretch in your right hip. That's why we bend the foot in. Okay. Let me go back into down dog. Take your left knee into your left wrist. Bring your foot in. Keep your torso up, and your head is looking forward with your eyes looking forward. And I want you to just sit into this one, and you should feel a stretch in your left hip. I want you to just sit in this one and be patient. It takes time for the hip to release and relax and to remember the stretch. Remember, we want muscle memory. Also stretching muscle memory. After this, we're going to come down on our stomachs, and we're going to do the cobra and the sphinx, and to give some flexion into our spines. Okay, come on out of that very slowly. Come on down to your stomach. And we're going to go into Cobra and Sphinx. So first we're going to come into Sphinx because it's easier. So your elbows are directly underneath your shoulders. The palms of your hands are face down on the mat, and your head is looking forward. Try not to just sink into it. Bring your head up, look forward, and you should feel a gentle flexion of your spine, which is really good for your spine to have some flexibility there. You don't ever want to be stiff. You want to get the stiffness out. Then I want you to come down on either side of your face. You can rest on your hands, and then we will then go into Cobra. Okay, then very gently put your hands under your shoulders. Your feet can just be out long. Your elbows, you don't want them out, you want them close in, touching your body. And then you want to gently rise and get some up to where you're comfortable, and then just look forward. And this is Cobra. And just come to where you're comfortable. And then come on down, and I want you to think of your neck as being pulled long. We'll go into that one more time. Okay? Same thing. Okay, then come on down. Next, we're going to go onto our backs very slowly, very gently. I want you to just turn over. Lie down on your back, and then we're going to go into bridge with just our hands, not a block. So bend your knees so that your knees are facing towards the sky. And then you want to raise your hips and tuck your shoulders in so that you could grasp your hands underneath your back. Kind of feels really good to your shoulders. Gives a good stretch in your shoulders, a good stretch in the front of your thighs, and a good stretch in your spine. And then come on down. We'll go up to that one more time. It should feel really good to you. Okay, come on up. Tuck your shoulders under so you can grasp your hands underneath your back, they should be about under your bottom. And then come on down. I want to have enough time to stretch out our legs a little bit here. So bring your right leg up, hold your calf, and bring it towards you. Flex your foot. I only have a few minutes here, so I really want to get our legs stretched. Okay, just hold it. Be patient. Just hold it. you should feel a stretch in the back of your thigh. And then the more you stretch your foot, you're going to feel it now in the back of your calf, which is super important. So I want you to do that. I want you to stretch your toes back towards your face and just hold this here. Okay. Put that leg down. Now I have my knees bent towards the sky still. And take your left foot up, flex your foot. Try to hold it straight if you can. Just hold your leg gently. Don't grasp it. You're just trying to let your leg stretch out naturally. Then I want you to come into happy baby. So grasp your toes, let your knees be bent, and your legs can flop open like a V. You can sort of rotate back and forth a little bit on your spine, right underneath the triangular part of your spine, which is in the lower back. Should feel really good. None of this should hurt you at all. I'd like to move slowly and gently and get stretching in. And really, that's the whole point of this. Not to do anything crazy. Okay. Now I want you to just put your legs out straight. Get a good stretch in. You can put your palms toward the sky for Shavasana. If we don't have much time, like just a little bit. Okay. When you're ready, come on up. Either you can roll to your side or just come straight up. I like to kind of come straight up. And then just put your legs out front. Try to grab your toes. Lean forward for a forward fold. Thank you very much for coming to class. I totally appreciate it. And again, if you'd like to subscribe, that would be great. And see you soon. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.